Now for the show that's truly too hot to handle. It's The Melting Pat, and it starts right now.
You're listening to The Melting Pat. Here's your host, Pat Johnson.
Well, thank you, Jerome. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the show, The Melting Pat, the Next Level Network. Hope you're well. I'm doing okay. Today's a big day. Big day. We have a guest, our friend, Peter Hunt Szpytek. Peter Hunt, the Great Outdoors. He dropped by for a chat about his new album, about his new EP. We talked about Kelly Clarkson, Blink-182 made their way in there, singing in the car, all kinds of other stuff that made its way out of our face holes today. So that was great. By the way, my thanks to Arden from Double Identity, who, it's weird, I remembered when they first came on the show, Double Identity, that is, and they mentioned, it was like after I had played a Peter Hunt the Great Outdoors track, like months later, and she was like, yeah, Peter Hunt, she pronounced his last name, which is great, because I didn't ask him when he was here. And so I went back and listened, and, and if that's wrong, if I pronounced it wrong, it's Arden's fault. All right, so there you go. Pat, you should have asked how to say his name. I should have. You're right. But for now, we'll go with someone who knows him in real life, how they say his name. So that works out for me. All right, there you go. That's on the docket today. So we'll play a song from his EP. And then, of course, after that, we will do the bonus question. I don't think I'm coming back for the outro, for the closing. I think we're just going to do the interview, song, bonus question, and then some music, and that's that. All right, sound good? Great. So we'll do all the stuff up front in just a second, but we will cross our fingers and toes and hope the captain. I know, buddy. You had to get it in early because I'm going away. I'm going not out of town, but I won't be available to edit the show on Friday. So he will have recorded and sent this update on Wednesday if he was able to do it. If not, you hear the slap shot. But we cross our fingers and say, "Good sir, the floor is yours. Take it away." There you have it. Thank you, my friend. The Melting Pat, the Next Level Network, just in case. It was weird. He said last week in the update, he thinks this is the end of the tenure of the GM, Chuck Fletcher, the Flyers. And not even 12 hours later, the team announced that he was, let go from his job. And I'm just saying, Flyers, we've been doing these updates for 5 years now or so. And it's however long I've been doing this show. And I have no 8 years? I have no idea. And I'm just saying, you couldn't give us a heads up. Like, you can say, hey, by the way, before you get your update in, and I know you record early, just want to let you know that we're going to fire the GM. So you can let him know that, let the captain know, and then he can tell everybody. That would have been nice if you give us a heads up. That would be great. But they didn't do that. So the captain had to, he was almost like a clairvoyant. Like he called it on that one. There you go. Also, that's anything else? No. So if he was there, he probably talked about that. If he wasn't there, I just told you about what he would have talked about had he been able to do the update by Wednesday night. So there you go. My thanks to everybody for involved in whatever I just did. That's all. All right. So, themeltingpat.com for all my stuff. All the things are there. Ways to get in touch with me, the network, all the things. They're all up there, themeltingpat.com. You know the drill. Have fun. Be safe. Don't be stupid. Enjoy yourself in whatever that you're doing, whatever it is you have going on. Have fun and don't be a moron, okay? I love you. Thank you. Enjoy the chat. You know the drill. This will be a Nate Boylan production. Has been, will be, always is a Nate Boylan production. Thanks, buddy. I said your name wrong there because I said it real fast, but I think it's fine. I don't think it's going to be a problem at all. So there you go. That's it. All right? Have fun. Be safe. Thank a veteran. Wear your mask. Get vaccinated and boosted when you can. Wash your damn hands, people, and go have fun. All right? It's the Melting Pat. You know me by now. Go crap open a cold one. And now, here is me chatting with Peter Hunt Szpytek. Peter Hunt, the Great Outdoors. His new EP, Years Gone By, is available now. So go get it. Album, EP, whatever you call it. It's called Years Gone By. Peter Hunt and the Great Outdoors. Go get it. Tell him I sent you. He'll probably remember me fondly for a moment and then go, ugh, that guy? So there you go. Again, thanks to my new booking agents, Double Identity, for the hookup on this one in a way. And here it is, me and Peter Hunt in the Great Outdoors talking, not in the Great Outdoors, but anyway, here you go. So this is, again, another time when I kind of wish I had video for the show because all that stuff behind you, your nerd cred behind you is that is we talked about it just before. But that's a lot.
Yeah,
That's so much stuff.
I have a fair amount. I'm tilting my camera again so you can see
That's
the
so
one
much
too.
stuff.
I like I said before we started recording here, when I started working, I work in the games industry, and when I started working there, I was like noticing like what everyone else had sort of going on behind them, and I was like, oh, I need to like accumulate just as much stuff as I can possibly find. you know what I mean?
You got to up your game a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I got, and like, you can't, it's sort of a shame you can't really see it on the actual camera, but I have like, like posters and like framed pictures and whatever else of like,
yeah, I see a Last of Us up there behind you.
Yeah, there you go.
I haven't watched the show yet. I got probably maybe halfway through the first game, really enjoyed it, and then had a kid, so
that'll stop.
Gaming is
lots of hobbies, won't it?
Pretty much PC only, like on breaks at work. So I had Last of Us on PS3, so I was like, we'll get back to that when he's 5 and in school, I guess.
That's fair. No, it's real good. The show's pretty good, and I'm a big fan of both games.
Nice. Yeah, I've heard people complain about one episode, and I was like, wait, wasn't that the guy who had the magazine you found and the pages stuck together? And they're like, wait, he's gay? Like, yeah, do you guys... I know not everyone who watched the show played the game, but like, come on, let's... So
I think there's like a lot of just completely, I mean, I think this sort of goes without saying, but I guess not. There's just like a lot of completely like unfounded, stupid backlash against any time like gay people show up in movies, TV shows, anything like.
Anytime anyone LGBTQA, let me see, LGBTQAI plus. I think there's another letter. I'm sorry. Anytime someone is represented who's not straight white male, it's like, hey, wait a minute, no, this isn't right. Like, buddy, it's a made up universe.
and also just like get over it. I don't know, like you know what I mean. Like it doesn't even have to be made up. Like it's just these people exist and are absolutely fine. Like they can just be themselves and do whatever. But
them not having you not being able to, I don't know. I can't relate to every character. Like, yeah, welcome to the universe. I don't know what to tell you.
But it's also like, do I need to know the type of person you fall in love with to relate to you? No, like I don't
Probably
know,
not.
like
No.
or same with like people say that about like women and stuff. Like I'm a man and I have absolutely no problem understanding and relating to women, but I guess I don't know. It's I think a conversation that you can't even have with someone. You know what I mean? Because if they can't even fathom that, it's like, well, I don't even need to talk to you about this.
Like if you can't get past that first thing, like, wait a minute, why can't we do that? Like if you can't even get past that roadblock, it's like, why am I even talking to you?
It's just buffoonery. It's just complete idiocy.
What am I doing? What are we what are we doing? Thankfully, we don't have to have a tough conversation today. I don't think anyway. Maybe when we get to the song, maybe we might. I'm thinking of the song we're going to play. And maybe we will have a tough conversation later.
We can get as deep as you want to get.
We could. Yeah, I'll send you a bill afterward.
Thanks, I need it.
Yeah. It's funny. So you, I know you through the band Double Identity.
Yes.
And the last guest I had on the show was Roy Robley, their producer.
Yes.
So I think all my booking now just has to go through them. Like,
you just hit them up and they'll send you anyone,
Yeah.
I loosely know Roy just because I'm in the area, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm a fan of a lot of the bands that go through him. I was gonna actually hit him up about some recording stuff, and then it fell through. It didn't fall through. Like the recordings happened, obviously they came out. It's just that I ended up finding someone else to do it. Whatever. Unimportant.
You said, screw you, Roy. I'm finding someone else. No.
Yeah, precisely. I was really angry at him. Never talked, never met. Just a big fan of his work and just really mad all the time. No, but I'm a fan of his work, and I thought it was a wonderful interview. I give that a listen.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, I also have to give you a point here because the first time Double Identity came on, and when Roy came on, I said, all right, 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock. Yeah. And they didn't know that meant Eastern, even though I was like, hey, we're on different time zones. And they showed up an hour later like, hey, I'm ready. I'm like, oh, okay.
I mean, don't give me too much credit. You did specify. I don't know if you specified with them, but you specified in your message. Oh, okay. Well, then,
and it just, it's fun. I'm not dumping on them. Just a fun little thing. It was just a fun little thing. Like, just coincidental that both of them, when they're connected to me through each other, that both of them kind of made that mistake.
No,
but you did not. Look at you.
I'm punctual. I would say that is like, I'm punctual to a fault. Like, I'm 15 minutes early for everything. Which, like, most usually is good, but you'll sometimes run into people who are like, I'm not ready for you. And it's like, that makes sense. I'm here before you told me to be here.
Usually I am ready like 20 minutes early, but today I had to run upstairs and I was like, oh, it's 11:55. I better get in there. Like, he's not waiting, staring at the screen like, come on, bro. You said 12 o'clock.
No, I'm all good. But also, like, my girlfriend is a late person. And like, that is insane to me. And it's not, I mean, like
how dare she?
It is just so ingrained in me, like, be on time, you know what I mean? And all this stuff. And so for her, she just, she gets there when she gets there. And like, that's fine. Like, there are a lot of people like that. That's not an issue. It's just like, for me as someone who, like, I'm always like so worried that I'm offending people if I'm late, or people are mad at me if I'm late, which they never are, because everyone gets it. Everyone understands, right? Like, traffic, it's whatever. Like, it just happens. But like, I'm just petrified at all times that I'm being so rude by being late or anything like that.
A little bit of anxiety. I have that too, for sure. Like, no, we have to be, like they say this time, that means we have to be ready by, you're on time, you're late. You got to be ready by whenever. Yeah. Oh man. But don't worry. We made it out. We're okay.
We're here.
Everything's fine.
I'm happy to talk to you, man.
We're here talking about the record, the new EP, Years Gone By. Did I get that right? It is Years Gone By, right?
Got it.
All right. Look at me. I wrote down 3 things and I've gotten them right so far. So we're going to talk about that for sure. But I like to ask musicians this question because everybody has kind of a different way of approaching it. So when you sit down to put a song together, so if you have a guitar chord progression, or if you have a horn melody or something like that, or if you have some lyrics that you want to try to get out there, how do you generally approach putting a song together?
I kick around a lot of ideas in my head for a long time, like more like lyrically, because I think I am, if I can brag for just a second, I think I'm a pretty good storyteller, and I do that obviously with like lyrics and everything like that. I know, right? Like, but I kick around a lot of lyrics for a long time in my head that I think about for a while, and I think about like how I could talk about feelings or moments or whatever. So I usually have a general topic for something I want to write before I sit down. And then I will equally like noodle around on my guitar, finding chord progressions I like, or playing songs that I like, and then trying to analyze like what I like about them. So like, oh, this progression's kind of cool. Like, what if I did something kind of like that or whatever? And then throw it on with whatever vocals I'm working on. So for me, it's always, I'm sitting with an acoustic guitar and, my notes app open on my phone, and I'm writing lyrics as I'm sort of playing. And it's all about feel for me. It's about like, what feels like it should come next. Like, does this song feel like it needs a pre-chorus, or does it go just straight into the chorus? And then so from there, once I've got like the skeleton down of like, here is like general structure for the song, I sit on it for, I don't know, a week or two, and I'll record a little demo on my phone, just, me playing and singing at the same time. And I'll listen to that for a week or two and think about if it feels right. If like the movement of it feels like natural. Does that make sense?
Yeah, if it feels like you're going to be able to go in a certain direction with this, whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, as it's playing out, like, does it feel like it's going where it should? Does it feel like it's interrupting itself? Whatever. Does the flow work? And so, I don't know, about 50% of the time I'm on the money with how I feel a song should go, that I've written. And then, but the other half, I'll go, you know what, this didn't quite work, or hey, we need like this to be extended or slower or, louder or whatever. And then I'll go back to the drawing board and sort of create those changes from there. And then it's been actually a while since I did any music. I took kind of a 3-year break from doing music because of COVID. Because I was just like telling myself like, hey, it's gonna like, this will work itself out, and then we'll all be back to how things were. And
how wrong we all were.
Right. Cut to 3 years later. Right. So it was interesting, like this time of writing songs and whatever, because it was I'd taken a break for so long. So I sat down and I had these skeletons, and then the first thing I did was I sent them to my friend Matt, who I trust a lot. He plays electric guitars. He plays like all the solos and stuff on the EP. And basically we just talk about like, hey, do you like this? What do you think about this song? Whatever. And then sometimes he'll write a little track and he'll send it back to me, and then I'll think about it and listen to it. And then from there, I sit and I layer some horns on there. What I'll do is I'll listen to the demos in my car as I'm driving wherever, and I will just sing in a voice that I think sounds like the horn that I like. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I'm just like, it's like, it's crazy, right? Like if someone saw me doing this, I couldn't show my face around here ever again. But it works for me. And then so like I will come up with things that I like and like little melodies that I like, and then I'll sit in GarageBand, which is an excellent program if you are looking to make some demos, but a really bad program if you're looking to write intricate horn parts. And so I'll sit there and I'll sort of like type them out in their like little on-screen keyboard. So I'll like make MIDI tracks and whatever. And then from there, like I've got pretty much a solid demo going. And I'll listen to that and go like, is this song how I like it? Whatever. And then you move on to like the actual recording process and all that. But that's like my process for like how I get like down from nothing to like something that I go, okay, this is a solid idea. Like I want to record this. I want to show this to more people and figure it out.
So it starts from your Notes app, which is a
Yep.
lifesaver, has been a lifesaver for many musicians I've had on the show, myself included.
It's the best thing. It's the best thing in the world.
And then you sing random solo melody parts, which is great,
Yep.
which is a big part of the show for me too. Every time I get a song on the show, I try to like sing a riff from it
Yeah.
when it's over. So I'll do that. I'll do it before the interview. So the song, I'll be like, I'll do one of your little
Yeah, you got
things,
that.
and that's going to be, thank you. I
Yeah, it's
listened
coming
to
out of the course of Body Shame. I know.
right before you came on, I listened to the song to make sure that was the one, and I was like, yeah, this is going to be the one. It's you got a guitar solo, you got some horns in there, you get guitar solo in there. Oh man, oh that's great. So have you ever? I like that you brought this up. Have you ever been kind of looked at weirdly at a red light when you're singing your horn solos in your car? Has anyone ever really caught you scatting in your car? The good scatting, not the gross scatting.
No to that second one. But yeah, I'm not sure like if specifically horns, if I've been caught doing that, like specifically, I've been caught for sure just singing very loudly in my car. Cause I mean, like that's the place where I feel most comfortable doing it, to be entirely honest with you. I know people are big, like shower singers, but I get very self-conscious, there's like people around or like I've got neighbors or whatever. So in the car, like that's where I am in my element and in my most belty. You know what I mean? It's the red lights that'll get you. You pull up, especially in the summer when everyone's got their windows down. You know what I mean?
Dude. Yeah.
Like me, especially, right? Like pull up, windows down. I'm singing, Since You've Been Gone by Kelly Clarkson. And it's like, oh, hey, we're all listening to me do this right now. Like, I'm glad you've joined me here. So yes, that happens. But I'll be honest, I am not one to shy away. Like I would say I'm a pretty shy guy in general. But in that moment, I'm like, we are going to know each other for 10 seconds here. Like, let's all, we can enjoy me. We can laugh at me or, whatever. Like, it is ridiculous a little bit. You know what I mean? And I'm willing to accept that.
How's your Kelly Clarkson, by the way? Are you like it?
Not
have
bad.
you nailed it or are you just like, are you a little off key? Is it?
When I was in high school, I would be in like the musical and whatever. And I would audition for the musical with Since You've Been Gone, which is also one of my go-to karaoke songs.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So you're good at it then.
That specific song, sure. I think, what's that song? What's "Thank You Makes You Stronger"? That one I think is a little high for me.
Okay.
It's tough. I find sometimes for me singing along with songs sung by women because they tend to have higher voices. You know what I mean? I have a pretty high voice for a guy. I think like when I was in choir and stuff, I sung like tenor.
Okay.
I definitely don't have much of a lower register, but with songs sung by women, it tends to be like I need to like change the key around a little bit. Otherwise, I'm like singing down the octave. But
or just be better. Just be a better singer. I think that's.
Yeah, I mean, I have considered trying to be better at it, but like who's got the time?
Well, you don't have kids, right? Come on. No, that's a.
I don't. I do not.
Bad thing. I shouldn't say that. That's one of my worst things. Is like, oh, you don't have kids. You can work all these hours. Like, bro, I got stuff to do too.
I do. I have a lot of stuff to do, but no, but
you got all the things to do. You got Kelly Clarkson to sing, man. You got to
precisely, exactly.
You should go on her show. She still have a show? a daily,
so.
a daytime show? You should go on
I
her
would
show.
love that. I would
and
love to
sing.
meet her. She seems like a very nice woman.
She seems fun. I should have her on the show. Let's get her on the show.
Let's let's just get Kelly Clarkson, get her number.
Yeah, I'll loop you in, and then
please do.
You can sing. We can all sing it together.
Oh, that would be incredible.
Do you think she's tired of that song yet? That song's been out for a while, right?
Yeah, I mean, probably since 2004.
Yeah, she's probably pretty tired of it. But I think if she's got nothing else going on, if we can catch her on a Wednesday night when she's got no TV going on, I think we can do it.
Does she still put out music, or is she just doing the talk show stuff?
I haven't heard. You know what? Let's find that out.
We can look that up. We live in a modern age.
We can look up Kelly Clarkson. Kelly Clarkson Christmas songs. Okay, well that sounds great. Also,
Spotify.
Kelly Clarkson. She's the best.
She's great. I am a fan of her voice and her
You were
songs.
right, by the way. Since You've Been Gone came out in 2004.
Look at that.
Wow, you are a fan. Look at you.
I certainly am.
She's
I
really
like the
good.
there's a Day to Remember cover of that too, which is actually how I heard the song initially. And I mean from probably a similar time, and that is also excellent, but a little bit more screamy.
I will have to check. Look. Now I want Kelly Clarkson to do a screamy version.
Oh, that'd be excellent though too. You know what I mean?
Wikipedia says her 10th album is set to be released in 2023.
Look at that. Kelly Clarkson, give me on the feature. I'll do it.
Oh, this is great. You got any sad acoustic songs? I'm in. I'll feature.
Yeah, or Kelly Clarkson, please come on my music. I would love to have you feature as well.
Oh my God. You imagine we put out songs and featuring Kelly Clarkson.
Kelly Clarkson.
I'm sorry, what?
Can I be honest with you? That would actually be one of that would probably be the crowning achievement of my entire life if I could do that.
That would be so great.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I would. I'm a big fan of Carly Rae Jepsen.
Oh yeah.
She's fantastic, and that would also be excellent. But
she put out a new album last year, I think.
She did,
Or was it the beginning of this year? I forget.
No, it was last year.
Yeah.
She's excellent. But her album, Emotion, is no joke. I think one of my top 5 favorite albums of all time. And I'll let you in on a little secret. It is not number 5.
Wow. Wow.
It's really good, man.
Okay. I don't know that I've heard it, but I'm going to write that down. All right, so we gotta do, what is it? A Day to Remember was the
Since You've Been Gone by A Day to Remember, or like the Day to Remember cover, and then Emotion. It's a Carly Rae Jepsen album.
All right, we're gonna check both those out.
Fantastic stuff.
And I don't usually look all this stuff up on the show, but I'm just curious now. I knowing this stuff is going to be good for me, I think.
No, 100%. It's excellent pop music. It is, to be honest with you, I don't think she has. Carly Rae Jepsen. I mean, I don't think she has released anything that has been better than Emotion. Like she's just like an all around like solid act.
Yeah.
But like all of her music is. But Emotion is like, again, to me, like one of these standout like albums of the past 10 years for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's really good.
That is some praise.
Yeah.
That is. If I don't like this album, I'm going to be really disappointed in you.
But you can't not like it. You can't not like it. Like you'll hear everyone I've talked to about it, like is like, okay, whatever. And then they come back to me, I don't know, 3 weeks later, and they're like, yo, I listened to that. Oh my gosh. Am I allowed to swear on your show?
Absolutely.
Or is it,
absolutely.
It's just, just they come back like, holy it's so good.
There it is. Yes. You'll be censored by the Super Mario coin sound effect, but yes.
Oh, that's so fun. How about that? You found like one of like the secret rooms underneath the level.
There you go. I don't know if we're close to a 1-up, but we'll see.
Yeah, well, let's see if we can get there.
It's a lot. It'd be a lot. Let's see. Where are we on? You know what? I'm going to let you know how many coins we need.
I'm going to say that was like 4, right?
So no, I haven't. All right. So we
96?
are, let's see. So we need 85 coins to get a 1-up. Now, that's not including what I did for this week's show, which I'm not done editing yet.
Oh, perfect.
So you don't need to get 85 exactly. But
awesome.
Yeah, don't let that hold you back. It's just a quick copy and paste.
Okay, perfect. I just don't want to make more work for you when you edit this.
Yeah, no. And it's all recording as separate tracks. So it should be, as long as we're both not talking when you do it, it should be easy. It's fine.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So, I told Arden and Courtney, like, yeah, just let them fly. And they, like, would never.
I was going to say, like, in my time knowing them, they've not been, like, foul-mouthed people. And, like, if I say foul-mouthed, like, here's the thing, man. I like to swear, all right? And I know people don't like it. I find it to free my vocabulary a little bit. You know what I mean? how else do you emphasize stuff if you don't? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because a lot of people think that it shows you don't have vocabulary, but really, like it's more about emphasis than
Yeah.
not having a word for me.
Yeah, me too.
You know, as SpongeBob called it, sentence enhancers. That's really what
Yeah. And it shows that I care. It shows that I'm passionate. You know what I mean? I would never never curse at somebody. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna like swear at somebody necessarily, but like just use them as, you know, here, there. I'm so excited to hear the little coin sounds. What won't get censored? If I said like damn, is that gonna make it end?
No, that's good. That's fine.
Okay, good.
If you want me to censor that, I will.
Don't censor the first one, but censor this one.
Okay. Got it. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
I had a band on years ago where one of the members was from Scotland, and the way he said vibes just really made me laugh. And he's like, "Oh, I didn't even realize I was saying it." I'm like, "I'm going to censor a couple of those to make it sound like you're saying bad words." And
that's so
he
funny.
was like, "Yes, please do that. That's really funny."
That's great.
Love you, Graham. Hope you're listening out there. So you're on here to talk about your EP and other things, but I love that we take some turns, and it's great. And again, double points for you for being on time, unlike those double identity people who were late the first time we did this.
I'll take it.
So the EP, it's been out for, well, this episode's going to come out on the 18th. We're doing this on March 9th, so everybody knows. The EP's been out for almost a week.
Yep.
How has the response been thus far?
I have
no idea.
Yeah, exactly. No, I have I've been releasing music for a long time. Since I was in high school when I was doing like pop punk bands and stuff like that. But truly never have I gotten such a positive reaction as I have with this stuff. Not only in like the amount of streams it's had so far, but also like the way that people have reacted to it and responded to it and reached out to me about it. Because, you know, since the pandemic started, I feel like I've personally lost touch with a lot of different people. And so anytime like art comes up from someone, I'll typically reach out. I'm like, oh my gosh, I loved your song or your, you know, whatever. And that's sort of been happening on the inverse with me this time, where people have been reaching out, people who I haven't talked to in, you know, 4 or 5 years, saying, hey, oh my gosh, I listened to this. Like, I loved it here, you know, that sort of stuff. But it's been pretty positive, and I've been very like, I've been sitting on these songs for about a year or so, in terms of like, you know, I wrote them like last year is what I'm trying to say. And then now it's finally out and people can listen to them. And that's kind of a scary thing.
Of course,
because, you know, you work on something and it's so close to your heart. And these songs especially are so close to my heart. Talking about how I've been feeling and doing over the past 2 years or 3 years or so. And you never want to be bad. I mean, obviously, like that sort of goes without saying, but like, I feel like with every person who makes any sort of art, they have this moment where they are sort of teetering on the edge of like releasing something and they go like, wait a second, does this suck? Does this suck the whole time and no one told me, you know?
That's kind of every week, every Saturday, you know, Thursday, Friday, when I'm ready to post a show, I'm like, this is actually good. People going to like this.
And you can convince yourself into saying, no, it's not good, you know? And so I went up and down on these songs and whatever. And so to have them out and say, you know what, I'm just going to put them out and I'm going to be excited about them and hear what people think. And to have the reaction that I've had, which has been, you know, just, hey, it sounds great. Like loving it, you know, all that sort of stuff. Like has been really encouraging to keep going and keep doing it. You know what I mean?
It's fantastic. Yeah. Especially like putting out music. Like my best friend and I worked on a music project for way too many years. And I finally got it out last year, and it was at a point where I was like, all right, we've sat on these songs since we were teenagers, and as I put it out, I'm like, well, now I'm 32, so we're just gonna put this out, and like the songs are done and they sound like they weren't made in my basement, even though I did all the vocals right here in this chair. And I was like, yep, we're just gonna put it out, and if people like it, great. If they think it sucks, don't care, because the project is done and it's out, and here you go. And just, I don't know, stream it on Bandcamp and let me know you're there, or do whatever you want. This is America. But
well, I also feel like so what you're saying is like, and something that, you know, I also struggle with and wrestle with as I get ready to release something is like, sure, like I hope people like it, but at the end of the day, like I want to be proud of it and I want to like it. And like, even if people don't really care or whatever, like, you know, I don't have like incredibly high streaming numbers or anything like that. And that's fine. But like, if I'm able to express myself and feel good about it, then like to me, that's kind of what really matters. Obviously, I hope that people like it, but like, hey, here's a time capsule for my life. Like, please enjoy. And if you don't, I don't care. You know what I mean?
Like the first step has to be, I am happy with how this thing that started in my head and, went to a crappy demo on my notes app or on my phone. And then
Exactly.
finally, got churned out through the magic of someone else who does this work better than I can. Here it is. So the first step has to be, you got to enjoy it and be happy with the product you've created.
Yeah.
And then everything else is a bonus.
Exactly. And like I said, I've been reached out to by a lot of people from people I haven't talked to in a really long time. And I have been very humbled by that response, because I mean, it's so easy to not do things. It's so easy to not listen to someone's music. You know what I mean? Like, it's so easy to ignore things, but the fact that so many people have and then reached out to me, which is again also easy to just not do, has been very kind, and I've been very happy about that.
Just want to point out that everybody, when Peter said, yeah, I reach out to somebody like, hey, I listened to your art, I listened to this thing and it was great. This man's never reached out about my show. And
I told you
I just
before we started recording, or maybe it was on this episode, that I listened to your recent interview.
But he's listened to one episode of 417. And, just saying.
That's where you start. That's where you become a fan, right? One episode. Right? I can't listen to this one. I'm on it right now. I'll probably listen to it because I'm always wondering how. Well, it's one of those things, right? Where like,
I don't like
you
listening
want
to myself either?
Well, it's like, do you want to know how you like? I'm always like curious, like, how did I come across? Because like, one way, like you'll hear it one way as you're having a conversation, and then it might come across a totally different way. You know what I mean? So I always want to make sure.
Yeah, like you'll hear it right now as you're saying it. And then we'll get off. We'll be done. However long this takes.
Yeah.
However long it goes. It's not a chore for me, Peter. I want that clear.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you clarifying that.
And it's like, yeah, I thought it was good. And then you listen to the show and it comes out and it's like, it doesn't sound as good as I remember, but okay. All right.
Exactly. I'm having a great time though. And that's what counts.
Oh, yeah, I am also having a great time. I'm happy we're doing this. And we are going to talk about body shame because we're going to play it. But
perfect.
You're a gamer. You love video games.
I do.
If you could write a song for any video game, even if it, like, let's say it exists, like an existing game. If you could write a song for an existing game, which one would you pick?
Which song would I pick, or which video game?
Which video game?
Oh man, that is a big question.
Or type of game. If you want to go with a game that doesn't exist, what?
I take a lot of inspiration from video game music, to be entirely honest with you, because there's two types of songs in games, as there are two types of songs in anything. There's like the score of a game, and then there's like needle drop moments from a game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a game that just came out that I think is fantastic. Oh, there's a coin sound.
There you go.
It's called Hi-Fi Rush, and if you're not familiar, it's like a music rhythm action game where you play as this kid who gets an iPod stuck in his heart, and so like the whole game you're like fighting to the beat of these songs, and then for every single boss fight that comes around is like a needle drop moment for some like fantastic rock song. So you get like some 9 Inch Nails in there, or Black Keys, or whatever like that. So I would love to make a song for a boss fight for a game like that you just kick ass to. That's my goal.
Wow. I was not familiar with Hi-Fi Rush, so thank you for bringing it to my attention. It's got a 10 out of 10 on Steam, by the way.
It's fantastic.
If anybody wants to.
Fantastic.
Wow. Oh, it just came. You weren't kidding. It just came out.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I'm going to check that out. $30. Come on. If it's $10, I'll get it. But come on, man.
No, it's great.
I'm joking.
It's real good.
That's pretty cool. I love that rhythm games are still a thing, by the way. Because Guitar Hero was huge in 2003 or whatever, and then they made a whole slew of those games and Rock Band and all that. We got my mom Beatles Rock Band for the Wii.
Oh, sweet!
Because she loves the Beatles, and we're like, yes, let's do this and all these Beatles songs, and she loved that for a while. And I love that they've kind of come back around
no joke way. Rock Band changed my life. Not kidding. Like, I had always wanted to learn how to play instruments, and I was learning how to play guitar when Rock Band came out, and I was like, this is Exactly. Like watching like your characters be on stage and like, like walk around and like just play. Like it's like silly like to think about like now, I guess. But like as a kid, I was like, I want to do this so bad. You know what I mean? And so that was a lot of the driving for like, okay, well, I can play I can play Dirty Little Secret by All American Rejects on Rock Band. Now I'm going to learn how to do that on the real guitar,
And did you?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
It's also very easy. I mean, it's like 4 chords, I'm sure.
Well,
but I mean, all songs are, but yeah, I mean, like that's the thing. I would hear songs on Rock Band and be like this Angels and Airwaves song. Like I'm going to learn how to play that myself, like for real,
Angels and Airwaves, you could pick up anything in about 7 minutes or so, right?
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, they're great too, but like similar thing about just like really, really catchy small little licks and stuff like that.
Which is not a knock, by the way. I don't mean that to be disparaging.
No.
It's just how it goes. Like Blink and all that, like all those things that are the musicianship is not, or the guitar work. Let's be specific to that, is not the hook of the song, right?
Well, it's like. Yeah, like it's not like technically very difficult.
Yeah,
but I think the hook. But I think those like really simple licks and stuff are such a big hook because it's like I got to hear that again, and it's like, well, good news. This song is 3 minutes of that same like little, like little lick, but it's such like it's so densely packed with like just a handful of small little things that you just go like, I got to listen to that again, and it's stuck
the
in your head all
slow
day
pretty part. Yeah,
exactly. I love Blink Done and Angels and Airwaves a lot, but.
And what was the other one? Boxcar Racer was.
Boxcar Racer is also great.
And no, wait, there was one more.
There's Plus 44.
That's the one I was thinking of. Yeah,
not a huge fan.
Okay,
to be honest, but
Plus 44 sucks. Terrible.
Peter, why are you yelling? They had the one song, When Your Heart Stops Beating. I know a lot about Blink-182. Like I loved Blink-182 when I was a child, and still do very much.
I was going to say they're still around. They're back.
Yeah, but
well, okay. When I say they're back, I mean they're all together again.
Yeah, I wasn't such a fan of. In fact, I didn't really like at all the two with Matt Skiba, and then now that Tom DeLonge is back, I love Tom DeLonge in pretty much anything he does. I find him to be a very entertaining person, and they were like talking about like this new album that they've got. They're like, these are the best songs we've ever written in our entire lives, and then they like released the single from it, and I was like, are you guys sure?
It was okay. Edging was okay.
It's okay. Like that's right. The thing. Like it's okay. It's all right. But will it go down for me as like? Would it even go in my like top 25 Blink-182 songs? No way. Like is it going to be one that I would ever really remember or think about other than when I've heard it? Not really.
Okay. I do want to say I did like the California record. I thought it was really good.
Sure.
I understand why a lot of people did like it. A lot of the songs were kind of samey on there, which I mean you're going to fall into a rut, I guess, as a musician, but. I think I enjoyed that record more than most people.
And that's fair. Like I'm not here to police what you like and don't like.
Why you're here,
I like Neighborhoods and people hate that one. Like, but
if you hate Enema of the State, I think people are going to be upset about that.
If you hate Enema of the State, you become an enemy of the state. I think
that's
right?
it. Yeah. Or you just watch the movie Enemy of the State with Will Smith and Gene Hackman. That's
exactly. Yes. 100%.
Yeah, which, by the way, watch that if you can, if it's available to you. Everybody. It's a great movie.
Absolutely.
I was waiting for you to say I've never seen it. And then I was like, well, we're going to stop this. You're going to have to go watch the movie now.
I'm familiar.
Yeah.
I've seen things.
So you haven't seen the full movie?
To be honest, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I definitely have seen some of it.
Okay.
But which I would assume means I've seen the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know where like if clips would be just like circling for that, but.
Well, you have some homework now. You got to watch Enemy of the State. It's on Hulu.
Okay.
So
gotcha. I will make sure that I am familiar with it once more. Yeah. Just for you.
How do we get there? Oh yeah, Blink-182. Yeah. I loved it. Everything that I talk about with anybody can just veer off, and then somehow I'm like, oh yeah, you're here to talk about this thing that I haven't asked you yet.
Ask away.
No, we did the EP. We did your songwriting process, which again, I'm grateful you answered that because that's one of my favorite questions to ask musicians. It might be actually my favorite question to ask musicians, just because the whole, and maybe
everyone's so different. Like it's always interesting to hear. Yeah,
and I lift your techniques for my own stuff sometimes too. So
sure, I mean that's the way to do it as well.
So yeah, I'm going to steal stuff from everybody I talk to. That's how I write songs. It's going to be
but
great.
that's how all music is made, though. You know what I mean? Like, just you steal something and then you play it wrong or whatever, and then you go like, oh, well, I've kind of made something new by stealing all these different ideas from everyone.
It's pretty much how it goes. Yeah, nothing. I don't want to say nothing is original, but not a lot of things you hear are going to be first time someone's ever played this sound in this way.
I think everything is born from something else. You know what I mean? Not to get like.
You said we were going to go deep, and here we go.
But yeah, but I think everyone is inspired by something, and people like to say like, oh, it comes completely from me or whatever. Like, yeah, but like you're inspired by things, like you listen to stuff, and you can definitely hear that in all music. Like, oh, I know what this person listens to based on this, but.
Or you can have a general idea of where this idea came from, like where the origin of the song kind of came from, sometimes based on what you hear, what they play. Yeah,
and I think you could do like to bring it back to my EP, if I may. I think you can hear that with every single one of the songs. like you can hear like, here's the band that inspired this song, and you go, oh yeah, I totally hear that. You know what I mean? But it's clear, I think, enough though that like, oh, this song was inspired by this other work or whatever. And then it comes from like, oh, but then he added his own spin to it, or he did this with it instead because he wanted to do this and achieve this or whatever.
So it's not a ripoff, but you can tell it comes from somewhere.
Inspired by, always.
Yeah, perfect. And beautiful segue. I'm glad you made it back because I didn't know how I was going to connect this. But
happy to help. Yeah,
you're a true professional. Let's talk Body Shame. So that's the song we're going to play. You won't hear it. Everybody else will. Well, I mean, you've heard it plenty of times already. I've
heard it a few times, yeah, once or twice.
Yeah, a few versions, a few times, yeah. So, how did Body Shame come together? How did you piece this? Who inspired you to do this? Did you really get inspired by looking in the mirror like I do and going, huh? Not a fan.
It's so fun. Like this is such a good song to actually pick for this because do you know the band Future Teens?
I do not.
I am a big fan of a band called Future Teens, and they write. I like the types of chords they do and the way that they incorporate sort of more like riff parts into their like chord playing in songs and whatnot. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna try and write a riff kind of like Future Teens. So I had this riff, and it's not exactly what you hear on the recording. It was about half the notes that are in the actual song that I released. And it felt kind of slow, but I was like, I do slow, like that's fine. And I recorded it acoustically, and I was like, you know what, I could pick up an electric guitar for this. I typically don't for great outdoor stuff. It tends to have a more acoustic leaning to it, but you know what? Yeah, let's try it. Let's click on an overdrive pedal. Let's do whatever. So I was playing that, had a nice demo of it, went, okay, sure. Let me show this to my drummer, Kevin. And so we got together and we were playing it, and he was playing it a lot faster than I had it written. And so in order to play it faster, I was sort of like adding in additional notes to the riff. And I was like, wait a second, this sounds way cooler, way faster, and way more memorable because it became the riff that's in the song where it was initially just it was a lot like muddier. It felt like you were like sort of trudging through mud as opposed to sort of lightly walking through those notes. And so him playing it faster, I was like, wait a second, this is how we make the song work. And so the demo that I had recorded was the one that I had sent to the horn players before that. It had like all those additional notes in it, whatever. And it to be honest, felt a little disconnected because it was this acoustic guitar playing this riff that was meant for an electric guitar and all this sort of stuff. So when it finally came together in the studio and they were hearing it as they were recording it, they were like, whoa, this song sounds way different than we thought. I was like, yeah, but it worked. And I was really worried that it wouldn't work based on the fact that it was kind of not coming together like in the demo phase. But when everything sort of came together, like in the studio, it was like, okay, no, all these ideas do work. It's just they need to be placed together when they hadn't before. But yeah, you mentioned though, like looking in the mirror and whatever, and that's where the inspiration came from. I think I have struggled with body image issues my whole life. And I think a lot of people feel that way as well. And I sometimes feel like I'm not the right person to write a certain song just because of what people might think of me. You know what I mean? But I sort of went back and forth thinking about like, is this a song that I feel comfortable talking about and singing and playing for people and I ultimately decided, like, you know what? Yes, I think that I should talk about this, because I think that it's important, and it's a part of how I've been doing recently, which is sort of what, the whole EP hinges on, and something I've been thinking about a lot recently. And so I was nervous to, like I said, a little nervous to throw that in there and to talk about those things. But at the end of the day, I'm happy with how it came out, and I think it's one of my more honest songs I've ever written, I think.
How dare you get so honest and personal
How
on
dare
your
I?
own record? How could
I know.
you? Who the hell do you think you are?
One of the titles for the EP that I was sort of kicking around was Uncomfortably Honest.
Oh,
But
that's good.
I felt like uncomfortably is a word that I might have a hard time spelling. And I was like, you know what? It's a little too long. It's a little too weird. I'm going to do something else. But
Okay. Well, you know what I'll do then is I will call this episode Uncomfortably Honest.
Please do.
Yeah.
I could get way more uncomfortably honest too if you want. I will talk about literally whatever.
Man, yeah. What do we talk about in therapy this week? Yeah, we could do that. No.
Yeah, let's do it. It's what the songs are. It's just therapy for me.
That's
therapy
kind
for
of
Peter,
therapy for you, and then someone else could be going through a similar thing and be like, you know what, this is exactly what I needed right now.
Well, and that's the thing too. For me, like, people get so weird. Like, people will be like, "Do you listen to your own music?" And it's like, yes. And any artist who says they don't is lying. It's 100% true, lying or not that invested in it. Because I wrote songs that captured how I felt, and are songs that are the type of thing that I needed to hear and needed to connect with. And that's just how writing works, right? Like, it comes from you, so you feel it more than anyone else, right? But so, like, that is the goal, like, have people listen to it and go like, oh man, I am in that same place right now. And especially, like, all of the way that I've been feeling in the EP, in my opinion, comes a lot from the pandemic and comes from all of that stuff going on. But
yeah, I thought we lost you there. You kind of froze, but I think we're good.
I
I
interrupt myself sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, I like to listen to my own stuff at 30% speed, like 30% increased speed. It's really fun.
Just way faster.
Yeah, just 30% faster. And
I like that.
I've really enjoyed it. Like, I could never play that or sing that fast, but
Sure.
I really think the songs sound better. So if you listen to my EP, anyone, listen to it at an increased speed, and it'll be better, I think.
You got it.
Yeah.
We'll do.
I'll listen to yours at that speed too, and let you know if it's
yeah, report back. Tell me if it's
better or worse. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Well, okay, maybe I won't say if it's worse, because that wouldn't be your fault. But
well, if you tell me that it's worse, then I'll just make sure I don't write fast songs. I'll just stick with the slow stuff.
Yes, just 70 beats per minute only. Wow, that's
exactly.
Wow.
This is just clicking by. That's like a beat a second.
I'm doing the click in my head right now of like, what does 70 really sound like? Wow.
Pretty slow.
All right, maybe a little faster. Maybe when I make music in Soundtrap, the default is 120. So I think that
sounds like a comfortable tempo.
I think that's fine. Yeah. I tell you what, I'm going to make one at 70 BPM, and we'll see. We'll really feel how slow that is.
Yeah, you let me know.
It's going to be great. All right, so we're going to listen to your album faster and then make a song slower.
Perfect.
It's going to be great. I love this. I love this. I love the record. Years gone by. EP is available now. Get it. Stream it on Spotify. Buy it on, I almost said iTunes because I'm old. Buy it on Apple Music. There we go. And this show is over by the time this episode comes out. But we're going to pretend that your EP release show, or that your show on March 11th went really well, and that you crushed it. Yeah.
I hope that it does. It's interesting too, like, in rehearsing for it, I write all the tracks, right? And for like 90% of it. And I never get together with a full band for that until like the songs are done. And so that was, in rehearsing for it, was the first time I was able to like hear them live played with a full band. And it was kind of fun.
Wow.
Yeah. So that'll be it. That show will be the first time anyone's hearing it like that. And I'm really excited to play it.
Wow. Yes. So it went well. It was on March 11th.
Great. Went fantastic.
I will. I'll tweet about it. I don't know how many Midwest people are. Where was the show?
Yeah, it's suburbs of Chicago.
Okay.
So you're.
I don't know how many people out there
trip.
I have, but if you made the trip, if you went, tell Peter I said hello. And he'll go, that guy? I don't want to talk to that guy.
I'm going to say who?
Yes, that is the appropriate response when someone says, I heard about you from this guy. Yes, that's appropriate. So years gone by, Peter Hunt and the Great Outdoors. I'm disappointed you're not recording this in the woods in the Great Outdoors. But, actually sound-wise, that's better, I would say.
Yeah. Next time I'll get the mic out there and call you.
Just put up a background.
Use a hotspot.
Put up an Ocarina of Time Forest Temple background or something like that, and we'll be good.
Incredible.
Right? Forest Temple. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
got
good.
it.
I love it. So the song so again, EP, Years Gone By, Peter Hunt and the Great Outdoors. You're not off the hook yet. I got one more question for you, but
Perfect.
for now, everyone else, the song is Body Shame. We'll be right back.
My clothes don't fit me right, so I stay home at night. I guess I'm scared of anyone seeing what I look like. I just don't fit the part. I'm not a work of art. I don't reflect the things you see in the movies. I don't feel my best when I'm looking in the mirror, getting dressed. Body shame, I never really look the same. I always try to see my reflection with good intentions, but I can't. Body shame, I never really look the same. I always try to see my reflection with good intentions, but I can't. Maybe I'll hit the gym to love the skin I'm in, but that's not the way for me to feel groovy. I know it's in my head, it still makes me feel dead. Maybe the world should be the one to try and fit me. I don't feel my best when I'm looking in the mirror, getting dressed. Body shame, I never really look the same. I always try to see my reflection with good intentions, but I can't. Body shame, I never really look the same. I always try to see my reflection with good intentions, but I can't. I don't feel my best when I'm looking in the mirror, getting dressed. Body shame, I never really look the same. I always try to see my reflection with good intentions, but I can't. Body shame, I never really look the same. I always try to see my reflection with good intentions, but I can't.
That was a weird transition, I know. But we have one more question. I asked this of every guest, and you listened to the show, so you probably already know what it is. But I asked every guest this question. I judge you based on your answer. So I
Yep.
need you to think very carefully.
Okay.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
All right. I think so. I've thought a lot about this.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, these are I think the questions that we need to be asking. Similar to like, is a Cheeto a chip? Right? Like I think there's a lot of like sort of categorical questions that need answering. Right? That the scientific community is, if I may be so bold, too cowardly to answer.
Yeah.
And I think the answer is very simple. Yes, a hot dog is a sandwich based on like, is an Italian beef sandwich a sandwich? Yeah, it's, a slice of bread that's split down the middle and you've got your meat in the inside of it. I wouldn't like if someone said, hey, if I ask someone like, hey, do you want a sandwich? I wouldn't make them a hot dog without clarifying. You know what I mean? But you got meat in the bread that's slit in the middle. Like, is a meatball sub a sandwich? Yes, I would say obviously it's a sandwich. But if you connected those meatballs and made it a hot dog, is that a sandwich? Yeah.
Okay.
I don't mean that like I said, I wouldn't say this without clarifying, but I would say if you were talking about like categories, yes. Otherwise, what else is it?
Okay. Well, this is why we wait till the end of the show to do
Oh,
this
do you disagree?
question, because you're incorrect. And it's not disagreement. It's just you're wrong. Like there's a correct answer and there's an incorrect answer, and you gave the wrong one. That's the first thing. The second thing is it's not a sub. It's a hoagie on this show. Because I'm in Philadelphia. So, yeah, it's a hoagie, not a sub. Although with that, I still know what you meant. Whatever. All right. The more important thing is you're incorrect. Is that it's not a hot dog's not a sandwich. The hinge of the bread separates it from everything else. Because, like you said, you're not gonna, if someone says I'd like a sandwich, you're not going to give them a hot dog because a hot dog on its own is its own. Because when you order a hot dog, you go to a place and Chicago dogs are separate. Everyone talks about that. Chicago dogs are for sure their own thing. So when you go order a hot dog and it's presented to you, you get the hot dog in the bun and then you add your condiments, right? Yeah. So the hot dog is an entity of itself.
But then would you not say that like an Italian beef sandwich is a sandwich? It has the same slit. You could still add condiments, your giardiniera. Some people like ketchup, not my thing. But would you not say that is of a similar... I mean, that is the same experience, and yet that is a sandwich.
But what does an Italian beef have to do with a hot dog?
It's the same. It's the same bun, like.
Right, but if I'm asking specifically about a hot dog,
yeah,
what does anything else have to do with it?
I guess it's just that we categorize that.
You
all
have the entire
right?
hot dog in front of you. You go to are you Cubs or White Sox? What side of Chicago are you on?
It doesn't matter. I'm not involved.
Not involved. Okay.
Not invested.
So if you go to Wrigley Field or you go wherever and you get a hot dog, you're getting the full hot dog.
That's fair.
So everyone colloquially knows, that's a hard word to say. I shouldn't have done that.
Tough. Yeah.
Everyone knows when you order a hot dog, you're getting the full hot dog. So like the category of hot dog is, because it's not sandwiches and you see Italian beef, turkey, ham and cheese, and hot dog. They're not on the same line. It's sandwiches, hamburgers, hot dogs.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I will just unfortunately have to respectfully disagree.
That's okay. We can do that.
We're allowed to.
Yeah, this is America. You're allowed to be wrong in any number of ways.
Sure. Agreed. Clearly. As we have seen over the past, let's call it, a nice over 200 years, people are welcome to be very wrong. They shouldn't. Never mind. You don't need me talking about politics on your show.
Well,
oh my gosh.
I'm gonna guess that we agree on most things that we would talk about. So
I would probably guess that. Yes,
I would say that. Yeah, we don't need to spend. You know what? Next time you come back, when you put out a new thing, come back and we'll do a. Well,
I'll make it super political.
Who the hell knows what the country and world will be at that time, whenever that happens? But
exactly,
I'm sure there would be no shortage of nonsense to try to unpack.
No, there never is. It's like week to week. It's just like more and more and more. But
sometimes it's day to day.
That's also true.
It's all a mess. But this was wonderful. Thank you for being here.
Thanks so much for having me. This is a great time.
This is really great. Thanks for reaching out. It doesn't usually happen that a band reaches out to me about coming on, so that makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside.
I like your show.
And thank you.
So
thank you.
I reached out.
And we all love Kelly Clarkson.
Of course we do. How could we not?
Yes.
Get her on here.
Yeah, she's our next guest.
Tell me about it.
Kelly Clarkson. It's going to be great.
Oh, man. So jealous.
Yeah, thanks for coming in. This was great.
Thanks so much, Pat.
Okay, we forgot to do the riff. I told Peter that I would do a mouth riff of a song, and I forgot to do it at the beginning. So I am back here after all this. So we'll see who listens to the whole show and see if anybody hears this whack-ass mouth riff that I'm about to do of Body Shame. I don't know. I feel weird doing a full stop, so I added another little note at the end. I don't know. Is that okay? Is that fine? Great. Sure it is. There you go. Bonus me at the end of the show. Yeah, awesome. Have a great week. Next time we have a new guest, you know the thing. We already said it. I love you. Be well. Bye.